Hey everyone, Al here again. Big day today. Just got a call, 7 o'clock in the morning, post office. The chicks are here. Post office doesn't open till 9. Of 140 chicks, you know they're making some noise. 7 o'clock in the morning, they're calling. Hey, if you come early, just knock on the back door, we'll be here. So off we go. We go pick up probably 3-4 boxes of chicks, and we'll bring them on home. Get them set up in the brooder. We'll walk you through that process. Been doing chicks now for a couple years. This will be our third. First year, didn't really know what we were doing. Bought the Johnson Scovich book. Built a couple chicken tractors. And didn't really know we wanted to go all in on it. So what we did was we hired a local company that could come out and do all the processing for us. It was pretty expensive. You know, it turned out to be like $6-7 a bird. You know, when you can buy a chicken for that price from the store if you watch sales. And it's not the kind of chickens that you buy, but you know, it's definitely adds some price. You buy the chickens for about, I think, $3.15 a piece. We put somewhere around $7 to $8 per bird in food. You wind up losing some. You know, it's pretty standard for these Cornish Cross to lose, you know, up to 10% of the number of chicks. So you buy, you know, 80 chicks, you lost 8 of them, that's $25 right there. You just lost, you know, plus you got some food into them and different things. But usually you find out you lose them really early, you know, first week. That's when they're most susceptible. You got the brooder's too hot, the brooder's too cold. You know, they just spend a day or two in shipping. You know, it is Friday morning, and we got a shipping notification Wednesday afternoon. So, you know, they came out of Iowa, spent tonight, looks like, in the Des Moines Distribution Center, came up to St. Paul, transferred, and out to our little town here in Delano, Minnesota. So you lose about 10, you know, up to 10% of the birds. First year, I think we ordered 75. I think we lost like 6, so somewhere right around that 10%. But, you know, 8 weeks, 9 weeks later, you have 70-ish chickens sitting in your freezer, and it's good meat. You know where you got them, you know what they ate, you know how they are raised, you know, fresh food every day. They're, you know, 2.5 weeks, we move them out into a field, so every day they're on fresh grass, doing some movement, you know, versus the chicken that you're buying from the store. They didn't move. You don't know what they were eating. You don't know what diseases they were exposed to, all that stuff. So first year we did 75 birds. We processed somewhere, you know, 68, I think, 69, somewhere around there. And I use chicken for everything. Next year, that was a lot of fun. We decided, let's do some more. And we ordered 101, I think, because that's where there was a price break. And then again, we hired that same company, so we wouldn't have to buy any equipment. They came out and did all the processing. I was busy, so I couldn't get out and watch. I had my daughter-in-law was there helping them. So even though you're paying, you know, $7 a bird now for processing, you still have to be there all day to help them catch birds, put them in cones, that sort of thing. Last year we had, you know, my two of my older sons wanted some chickens, other family members wanted chickens, so we actually raised a little over 200. We did 2 batches, and then we hired that company to come out twice to do it. And the second time I was able to be there, which was pretty cool. You know, I was able to help with everything, do everything, and the guys were really friendly. They showed me exactly what they do in the process. So this year, we are ordering our own equipment. We are not going to pay anybody to process. We'll get that total cost of bird down somewhere around $10 to $11, which is still a fairly expensive chicken compared to what you're buying in the store. And then from there, we'll be able to process them as we like. They're bigger boxes this time than they've been. Maybe you just let me grab one and you hold the other. Oh, they are. Okay. Thank you. Alright, here it is. This is where we're going to be keeping them. I do have a lot of the stuff in here from last fall from the outside tractors. We take them in here. It seems like a good storage area as any. So what I need to do is I need to get some of this stuff out of here. The feeders that go outside and the buckets that go outside. Get some medium flake put on the floor. Clean out those water bins and fill those up. Take them little red food ones. That's the one we use for the little chicks. And then get those lights adjusted, the heat lights. I adjust them up and down. And then get that heat set about right. So we gotta get this all cleaned out. This door, I put it on the wrong way. I had hinged it when I originally built this coop. I hinged it the wrong way, so it turned in towards me, which made it really hard. So the door for the coop that my daughter painted when she was young, and she messed up the word coop, but we made it work. We just got it taken off the hinges right now so that we can get our work done in there. So let's get to work. All right, there we have it. Have the water, cleaned out the water dishes, filled them up, got the food dishes out, have 6 of them, 4 smaller ones and then 2 longer ones, so they're filled up and ready to go. Got the heat lamps. Looks like I got to plug one of them in yet. So get baby chicks like this, you want them to be somewhere around 100 degrees. So I got this little heat gun here. Don't know if you can see it. You just pull the trigger and we can see, like right here, right under the heat lamp, we are about 100 degrees. We go over here to this one over here. We're sitting at about 99. That one where it's not plugged in right now, we're only at 77. So at this point, we'll have a lot of chicks right in this area. And we'll have a lot of chicks right in that area. I need to get this heated up so we spread them out. As they become a little bit more hardy, then they're gonna scatter a little bit more. But for now, they're gonna be staying close to them heat lamps. So let's go get some chicks. We have chicks. You can hear them. They're louder than me. Something you're gonna see me do, not everyone, but on some, we will dip their noses or their beaks in some water, teach them where the water is. You teach that to a couple and then they will show their friends. Alright, so to give you a status update, we got a couple hanging out over here. Couple over there figuring out where the food is. A lot of them just hanging out under the heat light. There were 73 in that first box. Now as we get into this, that's kind of what they look like. So, you know, about a quarter, and a quarter. So that's kind of how they go. Get you guys set up so you can kind of watch me unload this. It's 36 more, we're up to 72. So we got more than 140 we've purchased. Everyone made it during shipping, so that's a good thing. So far, I think this is my 6th order of chicks. And of all the chicks I've ordered, I've only lost one in shipping. So McMurray Hatchery, great job. Alright, so there we go. They're all in there. We have some hanging out by the water. And we have a lot hanging out under the heat light. As they get hardier and hardier over time, you'll see them scatter and they'll be all over in here. So again, shout out to McMurray Hatchery down there in Iowa. And right under the heat lights, we're doing good. That's where they're going to be most of the time. I do have the windows closed and I am going to slide the door forward. So that way we'll keep a little bit of the warm air in there. But it's supposed to be near 80 degrees outside today. Started at about 52 this morning when I left, so we'll see how it goes. So hey everyone, so there we have it. We are done with the chicks. They're all done for the day. This is my second YouTube video. I'd really like it if you gave me a big like. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. First one was just using the tractor for some garbage. If you saw I had a cane today, slowed everything down. I had a hip replacement, so I'm coming back from that. But it's not going to keep me down. We're going to keep active. I like Russ at Woolies Firewood. He always says a little bit every day goes a long way, and I'm a believer in that. You try to keep active. You're going to take a surgery like I had, get through it much faster, recover faster, get back to your normal life. So here I am, Al, for Al's Acres and Adventures, and we'll give you regular updates on the chicks. We'll show you how they grow. We'll show you what we do when we move them to the field. And we'll outline kind of the processing, but we're not going to show you that. I like doing firewood, so you're going to see some firewood videos. Wife's got a garden or two that she wants tilled up, so we'll probably get the tractor out in the next day or so. And I got to do some brush hogging. So that's what you're going to see, some stuff that we do around here when we're playing around. So until next time, have a great day.